Runescape is a time and a place. Runescape is a game released by Jagex in 2001, making it one of the oldest still-running MMORPGs to date. Runescape is a game of innumerable updates and changes, yet also consistency and persistence, standing stalwart in the face of 2 decades of history. Runescape is a game that survives, but not on its own. Runescape is a game released by Jagex in 2013, a concession to disillusioned players of 2001's Runescape over changes made to 2013's Runescape, recreating an archived version of 2007's Runescape. Runescape is a surreal experience, a game plucked out of time, both purposefully archaic while being polished and new. Runescape is a game that has existed and received changes for a period of time longer than the build it was attempting to replicate. Runescape is therefore less of a copy, and more of an aesthetically nostalgic alternate timeline. Runescape is here, in both places, for despite being split in twain, all places are in need of heroes, and there are many who are still happy to oblige. Runescape is, regardless of what it is, for as the old proverb goes, you can never truly leave Runescape. Runescape is a game demanding explanation, a world so vast and old that it yearns to be explored and analyzed to its finest minutiae. Runescape is obvious, immediately recognizable, ingrained to the point that attempting to elaborate on it is an action so redundant it only leads to befuddlement, as if attempting to explain what it is like to have an arm. Runescape is a land of infinite adventure, fantasy, creativity, and imagination. Runescape is essentially a stock market simulator, where one spends several hours at a bank booth attempting to make numbers go up. Runescape is immensely complex. The accumulated information held within could create an encyclopedia more dense than a dying star. Runescape is mostly an exercise in clicking on something and then waiting patiently. Runescape is a game with a player base in the tens of thousands at any given time, available for trading, combat, and community activities. Runescape is a largely insular, single-player game. Runescape is based around a large variety of skills and combat styles that work cohesively together to enhance the experience without limiting the player to a specific character class. Runescape is a game with a skill dedicated exclusively to the production of campfires. Runescape is designed with a robust progression system that rewards the player on a very consistent basis for increasing skills and completing quests. Runescape is a game where it is a statistical reality that the amount of experience required to reach level 92 is roughly equivalent to the amount of experience required to reach level 99 from level 92. Runescape is under constant threat from vampires, dragons, demons, and even the gods themselves, and the only thing standing in their way is you. Runescape is also the home of an island of monkeys, zombie pirates, a cabbage deity, and an espionage network of penguins. Runescape is charmingly archaic, maintaining the visuals and mechanics of early PC point-and-click adventure games, containing puzzles and stories more in-depth than you may expect from an MMO. Runescape is a giant graphical error that requires you to have a wiki open in the other tab. Runescape is a beautiful work that I have played for 15 years. It has infused me with a magic and wonder that cannot be replaced, inspired my love for the fantasy genre, has an incomparable soundtrack, and is perhaps one of the most, if not the most, influential games I have ever had the chance to experience. Runescape is an ugly, grindy, tedious, and bloated old geezer that was already dead on arrival, continuing to shamble about despite all good reason like a zombie on life support, kept afloat only by membership dues, microtransactions, and a declining player base who are unwilling or simply unable to let go. Runescape is a game of which I have said many contradictions, but only one lie. Runescape is not a game. Runescape is a memory. Runescape is not something to play. Runescape is something to feel. Runescape is a snowy winter day spent chopping Arctic pines on Yetitsnot from the comfort of your mother's office. Runescape is traversing the dark caves of the underground pass, hiding away from the relatives at your grandparents' house. Runescape is house parties on the Windows 95 at 3 AM, stifling your excitement so that dad doesn't wake up. Runescape is a time and place. A moment, seemingly lost forever, that returns and still lingers, despite all odds. Runescape is, however, only a moment. Runescape is in constant flux, not because of any update, but due to something that has been there since the very start. RuneScape is, as is all art, in motion with the perspective of the audience, the player. RuneScape is the heavy feeling in your heart knowing you can revisit a place you once knew, but never see it as the person you once were. RuneScape is the listlessness of spending years conquering a world only to wonder when the real adventure begins. RuneScape is the blurred border between genuine enjoyment and the chase for it. RuneScape is the question of how long I have spent on something I have expended in search of time I cannot get back. RuneScape is a 10-year-old boy staring out his bedroom window while indulging in scattered and romantic daydreams. RuneScape is a 24-year-old man staring out his bedroom window while in silent contemplation. RuneScape is a human eye, barely growing, but the view shifting constantly. RuneScape is, perhaps despite my best efforts at closure, the place I return to. RuneScape is, RuneScape was, and always will be, for no more can one earnestly escape the past, can one ever truly leave RuneScape.